Their achievement was their calendar system, the Mayan calendar. But we know now that the Olmecs, those mysterious predecessors of the Maya, used precisely the same calendar.
Very little is left of the ancient North American monuments. More than 90% of the structures that were documented in the 19th century are now completely gone. And of the less than 10% that remain, the majority have been vandalized and destroyed.
Discovering the ancient Maya civilization has been like piecing together a giant, fascinating puzzle. Picture this. Back in the 16th century, Spanish explorers led by folks like Hernán Cortés stumbled upon the remnants of a once glorious civilization, with towering cities now reclaimed by the jungle.
Oh, the tragedy of the North American pyramids. There was once more than 1 million of them. Only 100,000 are left now.
Sadly, their initial encounters weren't the most respectful. A lot of Maya history got lost or destroyed, thanks to biases and a general lack of understanding.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
Fast forward to the 19th century, and there's a renewed buzz about the Maya. This time, it's explorers and adventurers trekking through the jungles of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula, hungry for knowledge about these ancient peoples. Two guys, John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood, became the rock stars of Maya exploration. In the 1830s and 1840s, they journeyed to sites like Copan and Palenque, sketching and writing about their finds. Their work lit up the world's imagination with tales and visuals of the Maya's grand cities and sophisticated culture. By the 20th century, studying the Maya had become a serious scientific endeavor. Archaeologists got down and dirty in the ruins, conducting careful digs and uncovering secrets that the Maya left behind. Big projects at places like Copan and Chichen Itza peeled back layers of mystery, revealing intricate details about how the Maya lived, worshipped, and governed themselves.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult.
Discoveries at Tikal and Palenque gave us peeks into royal life, with their elaborate tombs and stunning artwork, not to mention proof of the Maya's knack for architecture and stargazing. The lost city of El Mirador, hidden for centuries beneath the dense canopy of northern Guatemala's jungle, stands as a monumental witness to the ancient Maya civilization's grandeur and ingenuity. Rediscovered in the late 20th century, this city has profoundly reshaped our understanding of the Maya, pushing back the timeline of their architectural and societal achievements to much earlier than previously recognized. Flourishing from the 6th century BCE, El Mirador was a preeminent city in the Maya world during the pre-classic period, centuries before the rise of the more commonly known classical Maya cities such as Tikal and Palenque. Its scale and complexity are astonishing, with sprawling urban centers, elaborate plazas, and sophisticated water management systems, including reservoirs and canals, that supported a densely populated area at its zenith. The centerpiece of El Mirador is the colossal La Danta pyramid. Towering above the forest, La Danta is not just the largest pyramid in the Maya world, but also one of the most massive ancient structures in the world by volume. The pyramid's base covers an area larger than 9 football fields, and it rises to a height of approximately 230 feet. Constructing La Danta would have required moving millions of cubic meters of earth and stone. A staggering feat given the absence of metal tools, the wheel, or domesticated beasts of burden. This monumental effort underscores the advanced engineering skills and social organization of the Maya, capable of mobilizing and sustaining such a large workforce. El Mirador's discovery also brought to light an extensive network of raised causeways, known as Saqsaywaman, connecting it with other cities and settlements across the region. These causeways facilitated trade, movement, and possibly acted as political and ceremonial pathways, illustrating the city's importance as a regional hub. One of the most intriguing theories about El Mirador, and the pre-classic Maya in general, concerns the reasons for the city's decline and eventual abandonment around the end of the first millennium BCE. Researchers speculate that extensive deforestation and the demands of large-scale agriculture may have led to environmental degradation, reducing the city's ability to support its population. This theory suggests a cautionary tale about the sustainability of human-environment interactions, echoing modern concerns about environmental management and conservation. Comparatively, El Mirador and its monumental architecture can be paralleled with ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom, which was contemporaneously constructing its own colossal structures, including the pyramids of Giza. Both civilizations achieved remarkable architectural feats without the advantages of modern technology, relying instead on a profound understanding of engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. However, whereas Egypt's pyramids served primarily as tombs for pharaohs, Maya pyramids like La Danta were multifunctional, serving as temples and possibly observatories, reflecting the Mayas' integrated approach to religion, governance, and science. The decipherment of the Maya script stands as one of the most enthralling detective stories in the history of archaeology and linguistics. For centuries, the intricate hieroglyphs carved into stone monuments, painted on pottery, and written in the few surviving bark paper books remained a locked treasure trove of the ancient Maya civilization's wisdom. The breakthrough in the 20th century, primarily attributed to the insights of Russian linguist Yuri Knorozov, transformed our understanding of the Maya, unveiling a civilization rich in history, culture, and scientific knowledge. The Maya script is a complex system of glyphs which had stumped scholars for years. Early attempts at decipherment were hampered by the assumption that the script was purely ideographic, representing ideas rather than sounds, much like the Egyptian hieroglyphs before their decipherment. This led to numerous speculative and often incorrect interpretations of Maya texts. The turning point came in the 1950s with Yuri Knorozov. He proposed that the glyphs were not only logographic, but also phonetic, representing sounds. Knorozov's insight was based on the use of the Landa alphabet, a set of glyphs recorded by Spanish Bishop Diego de Landa, which had been dismissed by many as inaccurate. Knorozov suggested that these glyphs could represent phonetic sounds as well as logographic symbols. This approach opened the door to reading the Maya script as a fully functional writing system that included phonetic elements. Knorozov's work sparked a new wave of interest and research, leading to a collaborative international effort to crack the Maya code. Scholars such as David Kelly, Tatiana Proskuryakov, and later Linda Scheller and David Stewart, among others, made significant contributions. Proskuryakov, in particular, was instrumental in demonstrating that many inscriptions were historical records of Maya rulers and their deeds, rather than purely mythological texts as previously thought. This shifted the direction of Maya epigraphy towards historical reconstruction. One fascinating theory that has emerged from the study of Maya texts is the advanced nature of Maya astronomy and mathematics. The decipherment of the Dresden Codex, one of the surviving Maya books, revealed complex tables for predicting lunar and solar eclipses, the movements of the planet Venus, and the cycles of the Maya calendar. At the heart of their astronomical studies was the observatory at Chichen Itza, known as the Caracol. This structure, with its distinctive round dome and strategically placed openings, served as a window to the heavens, allowing Maya astronomers to accurately track the movements of Venus, the Sun, and other significant celestial entities. The precise alignment of the Caracol's windows with these celestial bodies' appearances and disappearances throughout the year underscores the Mayas' advanced architectural skills and their capacity to harmonize their construction efforts with their extensive knowledge of astronomy. This integration of astronomy into various aspects of Maya life highlights a civilization that valued the stars not merely as subjects of curiosity, but as essential guides for earthly endeavors. The Mayas' legacy in astronomy, evidenced by their codices, observatories and calendars, offers a glimpse into a society that found harmony in the cosmic order and sought to align its terrestrial activities with the celestial rhythm. It's a tale not too dissimilar to the story of the Rosetta Stone and the Egyptian hieroglyphs, but with a twist. You see, the Rosetta Stone was like getting the cheat codes to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs because it had translations right there. But with the Maya, there wasn't a neat bilingual text lying around. Instead, figuring out what those intricate carvings and paintings meant required a mix of smart guessing, deep cultural dives, and a bit of detective work in understanding the symbols not just as pictures, but as a complex blend of sounds and meanings. Now imagine trying to understand a writing system that's not only about what things are, but also how they sound. And that's what the Maya script is all about. It's this incredible collection of over 800 different glyphs, making it one of the showiest, most elaborate scripts you could lay your eyes on. And the coolest part, we're still unlocking the secrets of this ancient script. The Maya script's ongoing decipherment is a reminder that history isn't just about looking back. It's a story that keeps evolving as we learn more.
There was a Spanish traveler who crossed the entire width of South America. Some years after the conquest of Peru had begun, he reported seeing huge cities. Within 100 years, other Spaniards were in there exploring. They couldn't find the cities. So they said, he must have made it all up. And that's what academia continued to say. And they're only being found now.
Perched on the rugged hills overlooking the ancient city of Cusco, the capital of the Inca Empire, stands the majestic Fortress of Saqsaywaman. This colossal structure, crafted with mind-boggling precision and architectural genius, has withstood the ravages of time, silently guarding the secrets of a civilization long past.
This is one of those cases where the science is even more sensational than the headlines.
Imagine stones so large and perfectly fitted that not even a piece of paper can slide between them, and you begin to grasp the mystery and allure of Saqsaywaman. This fortress, more than just a military bastion, is a testament to the Incas' advanced understanding of engineering, astronomy, and their profound connection to the natural world, challenging us to rethink our perceptions of the ancient world. Its story begins long before it caught the eye of Western historians and archaeologists, having been a significant part of local life and culture well before the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire in the early 16th century.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
The Spanish first encountered Saqsaywaman during their conquest of Cusco in 1533. Led by Francisco Pizarro and his brothers, the conquistadors were immediately struck by the grandeur and precision of the fortress, which was then a central feature of the Inca capital. Among the earliest and most vivid descriptions we have of Saqsaywaman were penned by Pedro Sancho, Pizarro's secretary. Writing shortly after the fall of Cusco, Sancho's detailed accounts, alongside those of his contemporaries, provided a first glimpse into the size of the stones and the sophistication of the construction, laying a foundation for future archaeological investigations.
That's me, for scale, standing beside that block.
As the 19th century rolled around, the ruins of Saqsaywaman piqued the interest of international travelers and scholars, spurred on by the growing field of archaeology. Notable among these was Ephraim George Squire, who visited Peru in the 1860s. His detailed sketches and descriptions further fueled worldwide interest and brought more attention to the site's historical and architectural significance. By the early 20th century, the first systematic studies were underway, mapping the site's structures and attempting to understand its historical context. However, these early efforts were often limited by the techniques of the time and a colonial mindset that occasionally misinterpreted the site's purpose and construction.
Archaeology gives this work entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
Advancements in archaeological methods in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, including digital mapping, detailed stratigraphic analysis, and remote sensing, have significantly enhanced our understanding of Saqsaywaman. These modern techniques have shed light on the construction sequence, the true extent of the site, and its various phases of use, ensuring that each stone and artifact found continues to contribute to the story of a civilization known for its remarkable architectural feats and deep integration with its environment and the cosmos. The construction of Saqsaywaman stands as a pinnacle of Incan engineering and craftsmanship, incorporating advanced techniques that continue to puzzle historians and engineers even today. The massive boulders used in its construction were quarried from limestone deposits around Cusco, and transporting these behemoths, some weighing as much as 200 tons and spanning several kilometers, remains one of the great enigmas of Incan ability. It is believed that thousands of laborers, without the aid of the wheel or large animals, maneuvered these stones using nothing but logs, ropes, and collective human strength. The cutting precision of these stones is nothing short of extraordinary. The Incas mastered a technique known as ashlar masonry, which allowed them to fit stones so tightly together that no mortar was needed. The fit is so snug that not even a blade of grass can slip through the joints, which also provided significant earthquake resistance. The stones could shift slightly and resettle without causing the structure to collapse, an essential feature in the earthquake-prone Andes. Moreover, the architectural layout of the walls, composed of gigantic stones in a zigzag pattern, forms three parallel lines that merge into a formidable barrier. This design served not only as a strategic military defense but also held symbolic meanings, perhaps representing the teeth of a puma, with Cusco itself theorized to be laid out in the shape of this sacred animal when viewed from above. Expanding beyond its visible structure, the layout of Saqsaywaman is deeply complex and extends into both ceremonial and strategic realms. The zigzag walls, stretching over 600 meters, seem to echo the jagged peaks of the Andes themselves, blending the natural landscape into its sacred architecture. This design not only provided a stunning aesthetic connection to its surroundings, but also reflected the Incas' profound reverence for nature and the deities believed to reside within these natural elements. Researchers have also suggested that Saqsaywaman's design incorporates an acoustic feature. Tests have shown that sounds made at certain points within the complex can be clearly heard across vast distances without any echo, indicating a sophisticated understanding of sound dynamics. This acoustical engineering would have been particularly advantageous during large gatherings and ceremonies, allowing leaders' voices to be projected to extensive crowds. Additionally, the site's astronomical significance is highlighted by the orientations of its walls and specific architectural features, which align with celestial events such as solstices and equinoxes. Continuing with the architectural and engineering marvels of Saqsaywaman, the Incas demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in water management by incorporating an advanced drainage system within the construction. This system was critical in handling the heavy rainfalls typical of the region, effectively preventing erosion and water damage to the structure. Alongside this, the tiered terraces not only provided a robust defense mechanism, but were also ingeniously used to manage soil erosion and fertility, likely supporting gardens or smaller structures within the complex. When comparing Saqsaywaman to another iconic Inca site, Machu Picchu, some intriguing differences and similarities emerge, particularly in terms of purpose, function, and construction techniques. Saqsaywaman, often misconceived solely as a fortress due to its massive walls and strategic location, primarily served as a ceremonial site and a symbol of imperial power and divine authority. In contrast, Machu Picchu, built around the mid-15th century, functioned as a royal estate for Emperor Pachacuti and was heavily focused on religious ceremonies and astronomical observations. The construction styles of these two sites also reflect their differing roles and philosophies. Saqsaywaman is characterized by the use of enormous stones, meticulously fitted together without the use of mortar. This construction technique, showcasing large-scale monumental architecture, was likely intended to display power and durability. On the other hand, Machu Picchu, while also renowned for its precision stonework, utilizes smaller, more regularly shaped stones that integrate seamlessly with the natural landscape, reflecting an overarching philosophy of harmony and balance with nature. Moreover, the locations and overall designs of Saqsaywaman and Machu Picchu further highlight their distinct purposes. Saqsaywaman's position on a high plateau overlooking Cusco gives it a robust, militaristic and expansive design, symbolizing its role as a guardian over the capital. In stark contrast, Machu Picchu is nestled between mountain peaks, often enshrouded in mist, creating a more secluded and mystical ambience that is designed to blend into its mountainous surroundings, emphasizing its spiritual and retreat-like nature. These strategic choices in location and design not only served practical purposes, but also conveyed the spiritual and cultural values of the Inca civilization. Continuing the exploration of Incan architectural ingenuity, Saqsaywaman not only stands out as an architectural and ceremonial masterpiece, but also as a strategic military fortress, exemplifying the Incas' deep understanding of military tactics and effective landscape utilization. Its defensive characteristics are meticulously designed, blending the natural and constructed environments seamlessly. Strategically perched on a hill overlooking Cusco, Saqsaywaman's elevated position offered the Incas a crucial vantage point from which they could observe any approaching threats. This advantageous positioning provided ample time to prepare defenses or mount counterattacks, making it an integral part of the region's security. Access to Saqsaywaman was deliberately limited, with a few heavily guarded entrances. These were intentionally designed to be narrow, forcing attacking forces to enter in reduced numbers and become vulnerable to attacks from defenders positioned along the walls above and to the sides. Within the walls, the arrangement allowed for excellent visibility and easy communication between different sections of the fortress. Signal fires and other forms of visual messaging were used to coordinate defensive efforts across Saqsaywaman and with other nearby fortifications, further enhancing its defensive capabilities. When comparing the defensive structures of Saqsaywaman with those of medieval European castles, like the iconic Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, several intriguing contrasts and similarities come to light. Unlike the stone and mortar construction typical of European castles, Saqsaywaman's walls were crafted using the ashlar technique, which involves fitting stones together without mortar. This technique not only provided significant earthquake resistance, but also ensured there were no weak points like mortar that could be easily undermined or eroded. Both Saqsaywaman and many medieval castles share the strategic positioning on elevated ground, a common defensive feature that underscores the universal tactical advantage of controlling high ground. This strategic similarity highlights the shared understanding of defensive architecture across different cultures and epochs, each adapting to their unique environments and technological capabilities.